We know that Google Maps limits your radius on how far outside of your location you can be shown. So is it possible to rank further out to other cities or markets that you want to target, but Google Maps doesn't let you? Short answer is yes. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what we do to be able to help our clients rank in other cities, zip codes, states, and even neighborhoods. All right, let's talk about it. Hey, welcome to Local SEO Unlocked. Pleasure to have you here. My name is Christian Hustle, and that's right. We're talking about, is it possible and how can you rank outside of that limited radius that Google Maps has? Because depending on how many businesses are similar in the area, your area can go anywhere from 2 blocks all the way to multiple states. Now, let me share a funny story. This is the second time I record this episode. I am crossing my fingers, hoping that I don't mess this one up. I basically deleted my audio when I was transferring things over to my computer. So let's see how it goes. I've never done the same episode twice. But again, this is a very passionate topic that I want to talk to you about, because I think that obviously it makes sense that Google Maps has a limit. It's based on how many businesses are around your location that are similar, and they all deserve a shot. So to give you the perfect example, we own multiple nail salons, and as you know, there's tons and tons of nail salons everywhere. So one of the struggles when we're trying to rank the shops is that on the same street, there's probably 10 other nail salons. So our radius, even though we're very fully optimized and we are beating the competitors that are nearby, we can't really go 5 miles out, because then that would include 5,000 nail salons, right? Like, there's so many. But on the other hand, we've worked with pharmaceutical manufacturing companies that sell, the medical freezers that very few companies sell. So when you search for these kind of companies, not a lot of competition going on, and now your radius is extremely wide, right? Like, now Google Maps is showing you state level results because there's not a lot of other businesses to show. So is it possible, and how do you rank outside of this radius? Well, what we do for our clients is basically creating local pages, localized pages that are highly laser focused on that specific market, whether that may be the city, the zip code, or I actually am going to talk to you about an example of how we are creating pages for neighborhoods, and it works tremendously well. So let me jump in here in Google Maps. And I'm going to show you, for those that are listening, basically I'm on Google Maps and searching for restaurants. And you can see that when I search for restaurants and I'm zoomed in on a neighborhood, there are so many options that my zoom doesn't move, because there's plenty to give me without zooming in or out. Now, if I search for something like pharmaceutical manufacturing companies and I search, in my zoomed in neighborhood, there's not necessarily going to be a manufacturing company, right? So it's going to zoom out, and my radius now is a lot bigger because these businesses are well spread out and there's not that many to show in the map unless Google Maps zooms out. That's the radius. That's what I'm talking about in this video. So how do you get away from this? And for that, I do have some examples of what I'm talking about. So this works across the board for every industry. We tried it. And despite all the Google algorithm changes and AI overviews and everything so scary going on in the search industry right now, we continue to see that these pages are killing it. They are performing best than anything else in SEO, at least for local SEO. And the reason is because these pages are not clickbait. They are helpful, right? They are providing that searcher and that person who's searching for either a product or a service exactly the information that they want. So it is valuable, is good content, and is highly targeted to the query, which is what exactly Google asks from us, right? Like, they want you to have helpful content that is highly targeted to a demographic. I mean, at the end of the day, that's exactly what we're doing. So looking at this search result here, I searched for Catfish Restaurant in Georgetown, which is a right up next suburb of Austin, Texas. This is one of our clients, and they do have 2 locations, right? They have one in Austin, one in Georgetown. Now, Georgetown is a pretty big town. There's tons of restaurants, and obviously that limits the radius of Google Maps. So when they came to us, they just wanted more exposure, more visibility for people to find the restaurant when they're looking for seafood and things like that. So we created the page for Georgetown. We created a separate one for South Austin.
And we started optimizing these pages, right? Now, in just a few weeks later, this page ranks #1 for catfish restaurants. And it was all because it's laser focused to the market, to the city, to the area, but also the category of the restaurant, which in this case works very well. Now, let's look at this other one over here. This is another company I run, RC Spotters. It's an app and a website from one of my favorite hobbies, remote control trucks. And in this case, we are creating pages that are highly helpful for the user. And we're creating them in a segment by city. So when you go to this specific page, we're going to have a lot of information that is related to RCs, but is related to that specific area or market. Now, what that is doing is, even though there are great competitors out there in this space, there's big retailers, big websites in the community, we're still ranking #1 because our pages are fully optimized. They're very laser focused, targeting specifically what the person is looking to find. So in this case, my
keyword was RC rock crawling San Antonio, and #1 is our website. It's our own page dedicated to San Antonio information.
Jumping over to a whole different industry, going to automotive. We work with dealerships such as Kia, Hyundai, GMC, Ford, a bunch of the big ones, right? And obviously a dealership is, even though if it's an auto group, it's stores, right? It's physical stores that people have to go to. So they are limited heavily by Google Maps radius. So in the example that I have here that I'm about to show you, this specific dealership is just a one shop, one store, one location business. It is a Ford dealership, but it is in the downtown area of this town. 2 blocks away is a competitor, right? And it's a bunch of dealerships on that main street. So obviously they are limited to Google Maps. And even though they are killing it, they're ranking #1 on search for Google Maps. They're limited. They can't go past their town to be able to drive awareness and drive traffic from nearby markets. So what we did is we started creating local pages to target those specific cities. So in this case, the keyword here on my search results is used cars in Augusta, Michigan. This is a quick 20-minute drive, so it's not like a crazy clickbait, but our client is ranking right in between the big guys. I mean, there's literally 4 search results that are cars.com. And our client is ranking #3 because of a very well optimized page, even though we're nowhere close to cars.com budget, because this is a humongous website in the industry, as you probably heard from them, even if you're not in the automotive industry. If you ever bought a car or you are in the process of buying a car, you probably ran into cars.com. Huge website, very respectful, and has tons of authority. Anyway, this website is performing really well, tons of traffic. And again, if the inventory and the product is there, people will make that drive to buy the right vehicle at the right price. Now, on the other hand, let's go to the financial vertical, the financial industry, because we work with a financial services company where they do have 4 locations in some key markets, 4 different cities. But it was the same thing. It's like people are willing to drive for the service if it's the right company. So we started creating such local pages to be able to target those markets and go after other cities. And the exact same thing happened, right? Now they are ranking in a variety of cities, offering their services in the keyword. In this case is retirement planning in Kalamazoo. And here is their page ranking #1. Again, this is just to show you that it is possible to break out of the Google Maps radius limit. You can create local pages that are going to be very successful, even in 2024 with all the craziness happening on the Google search results and AI being in the loop. These pages continue to perform really well. Now, to take this further and step it up a notch, I'm going to drop a link in the description box. If you want to learn how to create these pages, I put together a checklist and a local pages playbook on all the things that we've learned through the years, and literally going to show you the how to, what you need to include in these pages, how to structure them so they're very helpful for people so that Google really loves them and you're going to rank them at the very top. So if you're interested in learning more about that, visit that link in the description box. And with that, that's it for this episode. I hope you found it valuable. Hit that like button, subscribe to the show, whether you're watching this on YouTube or you're on the go on the Audio Experience podcast. Subscribe because we have a ton of videos coming, a lot of valuable content from all the learnings that we're getting from our clients, how we're approaching SEO, and just keeping you up to date on all things local SEO. So thank you so much for tuning in to Local SEO Unlocked. I'll see you on the next episode. Keep hustling.